What's going on, miners? Chump Change XD here. Hope you're all staying healthy, having a great day. Today, Growatt sent us over an Infinity 1500 watt portable power station. This is a solar generator. As you can see, the unit's right here and it looks fantastic. Now, I want to get this thing charging off these solar panels because I believe it's only about 50% charged right now. There is a manual that comes with this thing. They have a full box of accessories, ways to charge it. So they have a car charger, they have a wall charger, and they have a regular solar charger. All right, so according to this manual right here, the maximum voltage this thing can handle is 100 volts and 12 amps max. So we should be good being able to plug it into this solar array right here. We have 100 watt panels. They are 24 volts a piece. All of them in total will be about 88 volts or so out of the backside, and I think about 8 amps if I'm not mistaken. It could be a little less, but it's not 12. I know that for a fact. So this right here is the solar cable that we're going to take and hook up onto these panels. You can see it's got the two female and male solar ends, and then it's got the other end that plugs into the Growatt. All right, so I just plugged them in temporarily, and I'm just going to string these along the ground. Now, just before we plug this in, let's dive into this a little bit. If you look right here on the side, this is the charging section. Now, they have a regular wall outlet, C13 or C14, you can plug in there. Then they have a fuse in case it's overloaded. And then this right here is the solar hookup where we're going to be plugging that cord into. Now, this cord right here also has an adapter for a cigarette outlet in your car. So you guys can literally charge this thing on the go. It takes about 12 hours to fully charge while you're driving, but still being able to have a portable power station like this is fantastic, especially for like working on a laptop or whatever you guys got to do. Even if you wanted to bring a miner and run this thing while you're camping, I mean, as long as you got Wi-Fi, it'll work fine. So it's kind of hard to see, sorry for my reflection, but you can see it's at 52% right now. Here in the manual, it actually says that you can connect up to 4 24-volt solar panels, and that's exactly what we're doing. So as far as I know, you can just plug it right into the side, but what I want to do is just shut this off, maybe just for a safety sake, I guess. Once I have that off, now I'm going to plug it in and then we'll see if it's charging. We'll turn it on after that. So there goes nothing. Okay, plugged in fine. You can see that green light's on. It says 284 watts. 2.5 hours remaining to charge, and it's at 52%. So what I want to do is leave this thing out here charging fully, and then we're going to start testing this on some miners. I want to see if this thing can run an Octominer on 120 volts. I don't know if it's going to be able to handle it, but it's under 2,000 watts, and it claims that this thing can get 2,000 watts. It's right around 1,600 or so. So I just want to see if it can actually do it. And she's all charged up. So now it's time for the test. As you can see, we're back inside. I got my laptop right there with HIVEOS open, and I want to test these units. So I want to run the Jasminer X4-Q and see how long we can actually run it for. And this X8 Ultra Plus right here, this is my Octominer with some 3080s. I have a 3070 in here, 3070 Ti, and 3 5700 XTs, as you guys can see. I want to get that thing up and running. I want to see if it can actually handle it because I'm kind of concerned that it might not be able to, but the box says it can, so let's plug this thing in and try it out. As you guys might know, the Octominer actually has 4 server PSUs in here. These are all 750 watts a piece. Not saying it's going to pull that. It should be pulling right around 1,400 to 1,500 watts, if I'm not mistaken. It used to be 16 on Ethereum, but I'm mining Ergo with this rig now. So again, this is a 4-way splitter by C20. We're going to use this C19 by 120 volt wall outlet, and we're going to plug this thing in. As you can see, she's up and running perfectly fine, which is actually amazing. Oh, there we go. Starting raising wattage. 1,400 watts just about, 1383. She's fully up and mining. As you can see, we're at about 1.2 gigahash on Ergo. Everything's running perfectly fine. You can see my 3080s, 3070s, 5700 XTs. Just wow, this little Growatt solar generator is an absolute beast for its size. Like, look at this thing. This thing's amazing. You imagine having this for like a little backup inside a camper or whatever. I mean, it has the balls to run an Octominer. Even though it's sucking down the percentage pretty fast, it's still impressive that it can hold up a full X8 Ultra Plus with 3080s inside of it at almost 1,400 watts. All right, so I think we've proven our point. We've been up for about 6 minutes and 27 seconds, it says. Now, this machine is obviously not gonna run the Octominer at 1400 watts, basically, very long, right? So it's already at 85%, as you can see. Now what I wanna do is I wanna charge this thing back up, and I wanna get this thing plugged in, and I wanna see how long it can run this Jasminer X4-Q at 120 watts. It should be right around 500 watts or so. So we'll put a timer on that, and we'll see how long it takes to drain this thing completely down to zero. So we should just be able to hit the AC power and shut off the Octominer. Wow, that is a perfect switch. All right, so I got the wall charger, and this is the cigarette outlet one I was talking about before. So as you can see, charging this thing off wall power, 1000 watts, probably not ideal. Solar panels are definitely the best way to go to charge this thing, but as you can see, C13, C14 outlet right to the side, and I got it plugged into a power strip on the ground. Sorry for the mess. This right here is the cigarette outlet, so you can actually charge this thing from your car while you're driving. I mean, it's probably going to take like 6 hours to charge the thing, but in general, that's still a great option if you're like off-grid living or whatever. All right, back to 100%. I'm going to unplug the unit. Let's get the X4-Q plugged in. Ethernet's already in. Just got the 120 outlet. Plug it into the bottom one this time. Make sure both sides of that thing work. I love how this little AC power button actually powers that entire bank. Totally forgot, X4-Q has a switch on the back side. All right, so I just started it up. It is exactly 5 p.m. right now. We're gonna see how long it takes for this thing to get down to zero, and I wanna make sure this thing actually fires up, obviously. All right, so the only thing that sucks about this Jasminer is it takes a half hour to actually initialize at the pool. You can see it is just a blinking green light right now, which means it's connecting. It's actually around 70 watts right now while it's initializing, but I didn't notice that it says 21.6 hours remaining or whatever. It just keeps going back and forth. Obviously, that has to do with the wattage up and down, but that's kind of neat that it gives you a rough idea at how long it can actually run the unit at 70 watts. So interested to see what happens when this thing starts firing up. Totally forgot to mention real quick, this thing has Wi-Fi right there, so you got to hold that button in until it picks up on the screen there, and then you can pair it with your device. So I'm going to pair it right now. And it actually shows you the wattage of this unit via Bluetooth on your app, which is amazing. So I'll be able to see when it ramps up and be able to get right down here to see the wattage and all that stuff. That's amazing. All right, so it's been about a half hour. We're at 89%. It says we have 2.7 hours left of this thing being able to run. So we're going to gauge that. Like I said, it's about 5:30 right now. It's a few minutes after this thing actually kicked on. But either way, I think we get the gist. So let's see how long this thing can run. So here we are at the PC. This is Ethermine's dashboard. If you guys would see, this started registering at 1730. So as soon as the pool picked it up, that means this thing was ramping up full bore. So it was pulling that full wattage that entire time, which was what, 500 watts or so. Up here, the peak was at 1830. So it was about an hour later, it registered a full 1.16 gigahash, I guess. And then over here, it died at 1950. So this is when it completely shut off, because when it starts to drop, that's the full shut off. When it starts to rise, that's the gradual incline it's been running the whole time. So realistically, let's say, I guess about 2 hours, right? 1730 to 1830, and then 1930 would be 2 hours. So 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. I think that's pretty good for this little solar generator. What do you guys think? So what do you guys think about this solar generator? Super interested to know. Leave it down in the comments. Growatt, thank you so much for sending this unit over. If you guys enjoyed solar content, please don't forget to go click on this video right here. And until next time, I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.